You know how when you stand outside sometimes in really, really cold weather and your cheeks get cold and your lips go numb and then sometimes your talker doesn't work the way it usually does? Roll tape.
Are you tough enough to take on Donald Trump?
I am tough enough to take on Donald Trump because I would have liked to see him sitting out here in the snow for an hour giving this speech.
She did make it all the way through. Joining us now for the interview is a much warmer indoor version of Senator Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota. As of yesterday, she is the newest candidate in the 2020 Democratic primary. Senator, thank you.
Well, thank you. I had not seen
yes.
I hadn't seen that feed. I see what happened.
Yeah.
Your mouth freezes.
You're young just enough. I sure am.
It was cold.
You knew it was going to be cold. You
Yeah.
were warning people that it was going to be heavy wind chill.
Yes.
Did you know that you were going to have snow actually piling up on you while you slept?
No, I did not. And in fact, when I later watched the clip, it felt like I was watching myself age in 20 minutes because my hair got whiter and whiter and whiter.
Right.
And we didn't know it was going to snow that much that day. And we had all these big campfires, actually. It was like some kind of Nordic festival. And 5,000 cups of cocoa and cider. And so we had told people, 5,000 hand warmers, that we would have these things so that if they got cold. And I think that helped to get people there. But no one had any idea. I talked to Walter Mondale an hour before he wasn't in town. And he said, "You're not doing it outside." I said, yes. It was just really important to me to announce my candidacy with the people. We have a strong tradition of that in Minnesota. Go back to Humphrey and to Paul Wellstone, and also to do it by that river, not only because the bridge had collapsed and we rebuilt it in this incredible sense of community that we had during that time, but also because I thought it was a symbol of crossing the river of our divides, which Donald Trump, of course, has helped create.
I was interested to see you put the bridge collapse really at the sort of emotional heart of the start of your speech, in part because you are a very well-known and beloved figure in Minnesota politics, at least based on the margins by which you keep winning re-election. But you're not nationally known. And so to put a story, a Minnesota story like that, a hometown story like that, right at the heart of why you're trying to run, I felt like the idea there must be that what works in Minnesota can work for the country. And I believe you metaphorically, but I don't know what about that practical achievement is something that I can imagine these days happening in Washington.
Well, it wasn't just about working across the aisle, getting that money, which we did, and we got that bridge, this huge 8-lane highway that almost doesn't even look like a bridge, it's so big. We got that done in over a year, so it was significant. But for me, it was just as much about the community. It was about the semi-truck driver who died because he veered away so he wouldn't hit the school bus. School bus goes down 30 feet and a school worker gets these kids, every one of them, off to safety. The off-duty firefighter who dove in over and over again in the murky waters in these submerged cars and trucks to find survivors. And that was that sense of community that I feel is so fractured right now in our country that we need to bring back, that we need to go across that sturdy bridge to a higher ground. And so for me, the Mississippi River is more than just a river. It really is the river that runs through our heartland, starting in Minnesota, through Illinois, down to Missouri, way down and ends in New Orleans, that city of resilience. So the symbolism of it was much more than just getting the funding for the project, which was a great thing and a success. But for me, the river stood for more than that.
And you mentioned in announcing that you're going to run, you talked about you talked about making the announcement from the Mississippi, from the heartland. And I mean, there's practical politics there, too. I mean, we've got other members of the Senate who are running already. We've got Elizabeth Warren from Massachusetts, Kamala Harris from California, Julian Castro from Texas, Kirsten Gillibrand from New York, Cory Booker from New Jersey.
Great people.
People who are your colleagues,
yes,
you presumably get along well with. All of those people are from the edge of the country, and you're running from the center of the country. And it seems to me like that must have factored into your decision about whether or not to run, because as you say, you like all those people. You can't be that you think that there aren't enough qualified people running. But you think someone needs to run from the middle of the country.
I do, and I also think when you look at what happened in this last 2018 election, incredible victories in places like Kansas. I spoke at their Democratic dinner, where Laura Kelly beat Chris Kobach. I mean, who thought that was going to happen? But she was so strong. Wisconsin, that we beat Scott Walker. You look at all of the victories in those congressional races all over the country. And a lot of that was about people unifying. A lot of the focus, of course, was pre-existing conditions and the Republicans' attempt to repeal the Affordable Care Act and kick people off their health insurance. But we worked together as a party. And much of that was going on in the Midwest. And we wanted to take back the spirit of the Democratic Party in the Midwest. Minnesota is a great place to start. As you know, we are the Democratic Farmer Labor Party, DFL, and that was done to unify our party. And I have won every congressional district, including Michelle Bachmann's, every single time I've run. And I've also worked really hard to work with people in the rural areas so that we don't have that kind of divide.
And I was looking back at the Trump-Clinton results in your state in Minnesota in 2016, and Hillary Clinton did win the state narrowly, but you look at the electoral map county by county and congressional district by congressional district, and it's a lot of red on that map, and she won basically with her urban turnout there. You, as you said, won every congressional district in the state. Is that because you have run as a moderate? Should people who are just learning about you for the first time see you, as a lot of press is describing you today, as a more moderate or more centrist Democrat in this field?
I think they should see me as a progressive because I believe in progress. And I have worked toward progress my whole life, whether it was as a county attorney working with the Innocence Project to bring in a new form of eyewitness ID into our county and advocating for videotaped interrogations, whether it is what I did as a senator, where I've been on the front line pushing for protection of our democracy. You look at what happened in that Clinton-Trump race, and we're finding out more and more and more about how Russia undermined that election and tried to hack it and put out propaganda. And so those democratic reforms, including advocating for every young person being able to be registered to vote when they turn 18, that would be a great bill to get done.
Senator Amy Klobuchar, I would hope that you will stay with us. I have lots of things to ask you about, including things that people are saying about you that are very nice and things that people are saying about you that are not nice.
Well, that happens when you run for office.
Yes, it does. I find out that it also happens essentially when you become an adult, much to my chagrin.
There you go.
We'll be right back with Senator Amy Klobuchar, who has just announced that she is a candidate for President of the United States.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.